So let's be honest for a second. I feel like over the last 2 or 3 years of creating videos, I've been doing YouTube wrong. Having created about 50 videos over the last few years, and also working with creators on a day-to-day basis, I feel like I've learned a ton about what makes a successful video and how to build and grow a successful YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm gonna reveal how I went from a completely directionless Finding Dory in the ocean, looking for her parents, to actually discovering my true passion, and also just being able to go through this journey of turning the channel into a focused platform around the creator economy. I think there's some good lessons here that can perhaps help you, whether you're a creator or someone who works in the creator economy, of just my journey of what I've done wrong and how after about 2 years of learning and experimenting, I finally discovered my North Star. So I'm gonna break these lessons down into 3 key sections. We're gonna look at the strategy, we're gonna look at the niche, and we're gonna look at the operations. If one of those is more interesting to you, feel free to skip about the video and jump to that section. Let's start with strategy. When I first started my YouTube channel and posting a bit more regularly, I had no real clear vision or idea of what I enjoyed creating content about. And that's definitely okay, but I tried everything from finance information to travel vlogs to day in the life videos to unboxing to hacks to tips and tricks around how to use certain products. I did feel a little bit all over the place, and if you look at the channel, it does kind of feel a little bit of a mess. And that's also what kind of kept me from creating more, because of the uncertainty of what to create. And this lack of direction led to a lot of inconsistency, a little bit of creative paralysis, which ultimately hurt the channel's growth. And there was a key moment back in about late 2022 when the team and I kind of sat down and we basically just brainstormed and figured out the direction I wanted to take the channel in. And of course the team were always super supportive of what I was doing the last 2, 3, 4 years, but they also helped me through some kind of like crucial points and kind of ideas around what we actually wanted to build here on this channel. I think as the founder, channel owner, the creator, it is up to me ultimately to set the direction and the strategy and the kind of goals of what we're actually trying to achieve with this YouTube channel. From throwing a few ideas about, we basically managed to identify what I actually cared about, like my core kind of values, the content I actually really enjoyed creating. The good thing about having done quite a lot is that there was a lot of learnings of what I actually enjoyed more and what I didn't enjoy, and also what I wanted to do and build in the future. And this was like a really, really big deal. This was like huge because it allowed me to really understand where I wanted the channel to be. As you know, it's essentially like my own kind of personal brand living on a video platform. And I was certain that I wanted to utilize it to create some kind of meaningful impact. Like this is the kind of thing I always wanted to be able to help people. And through this journey, we were able to really pivot and focus on the things that truly mattered to me and the things that I enjoyed actually doing. And we actually realized through this that the most amount of joy and most amount of satisfaction that I got was helping creators in the creator economy, and also helping these creators build their creator businesses. And this realization really became the foundation of the channel's new strategy where it is today. And having this kind of like solid strategy in place, I can now make sure that the content aligns with my goals, values, and vision for the future. Honestly, this kind of like newfound clarity and direction not only helps make better targeted and more engaging content for you to watch, that allows me to better connect with you and other creators who are also figuring out the business part of their content creation. It's also a heck of a lot more enjoyable to create this kind of content too. Which brings us nicely onto niche. And I think finding a niche or finding a content theme is ultimately like a pretty important successful strategy for being able to grow a YouTube channel, because it's clear for YouTube what you're creating content about. It's then clear for your audience what the kind of content they can expect on your channel. And my journey was no exception. Like I have not had a smooth journey in figuring this out. And for a long time, I really struggled to pinpoint like the exact kind of niche that resonated with both my interests and my values and kind of what I was actually trying to do. And it did feel a little bit like an endless cycle of directionless content that held me back from me and the channel being really successful and actually showcasing the true potential that we have and showcasing all the knowledge and things that we wanted to share. Like as I mentioned, we were doing some of this financial education stuff. We were doing this kind of like self-employment, like should you be a sole trader, limited company stuff, some digital nomad, as well as some Google content. But it didn't really like click. Like it didn't really all make sense in my head. And yeah, I think that was a hard thing at the time to realize that the content we were creating wasn't actually the kind of content that I truly enjoyed making, and the kind of content that I wanted to make more of. But I think like since I've gotten more involved in the creator economy on a day-to-day basis with my role working with YouTube creators, like meeting them and kind of like vibing off them and understanding their passions and their interests, I think then really just discovering that my interest is helping these people to kind of make a living and create proper creative businesses. And for some of these people, it's escaping a job or a company that they don't really like working for, but they want to make some amazing content about food and be really successful with that. And I kind of want to be the person who helps people like this be successful in creating content and building a creative business on something that they're super passionate about. That's kind of like my goal. And I think getting to that point was a hard process, but I think now I feel like I'm a fair bit closer to that. I feel much more kind of like settled in my kind of like decisions and my kind of life purpose as well. And this revelation, it was a bit of a game changer, because it not only helped me identify the type of content I enjoyed creating, but also the exact audience that I was trying to help, which helped inform the kind of content that I should make to help that audience. And having that niche made it possible for me and for the channel to narrow the focus and help improve the content, improve the setup, improve the knowledge, and just improve everything in terms of the things that we share, the formats we deliver them, to really take the channel to the next level. And once we had somewhat of an idea of what the actual niche or the focus of the channel was going to be on creator economy and the business of creators, I wanted to really understand like who is the target audience. Like creator economy, business of creators is a massive area. So Marina and I sat down for like about a 7-hour, I think it was, session in a WeWork in December, fueled by some Graze bars and local snacks from the Sainsbury's nearby, to kind of just build out 2 very specific audience personas that we wanted to focus on with the new strategy, and went like super deep on like their needs, their pains, their goals, what the kind of demographic they are, what the kind of jobs they're doing, how much are they earning right now, are they wanting to quit their job soon, just to get a better understanding of like who these kind of people are that we wanted to target. And both Marina and I work with a variety of different creators all the time, and so we often hear the kind of issues and concerns that they have, whether it's like building a team or building out the operations or wanting to build this kind of business. How do I remarket to these people? So we wanted to just really dig into the personalities, find out who they are as a creators, and better understand like how we can also help them thrive and skyrocket their success. And we came up with 2 fictional personas. We've got Zach and Sophie, and the 2 personas basically are people that guide our kind of content creation and are kind of pretty core to the ideas that we actually share on the channel today. And to give you some idea of what they look like, Sophie might be an aspiring creator just starting their journey and only realizing the potential for growth on a platform like YouTube. Whereas Zach, another persona that we're focusing on, is someone who is maybe a little bit more of an experienced creator. He's looking to scale his business. Maybe he's already seen some success on the platform and is wanting to build like a solid foundation for long-term success and like sustainability of income. And this set like a pretty new step in our operational flow, because now we can very simply ask ourselves, will this piece of content be interesting to Zach or Sophie, or both of them? And if not, well, is this the kind of content that we want to be sharing? Perhaps not. So having these creator personas now basically means that we can create content that resonates with these people, but also means that we can set ambitious goals for the channel and what we're trying to achieve for the YouTube business. So I think, with a little bit of determination, our kind of goal is to build a really strong channel with a strong presence within the creator economy, sharing super helpful, really interesting tips, advice, feedback, and also a look into my own journey to really help you as a creator build a successful presence online and also build a successful creator business alongside whatever kind of content you make. The third big lesson for me was all around the operation. So just the behind the scenes of actually what makes this YouTube channel tick. So having a really solid operations process is, I think, one of the real big fundamental things of whether a YouTube channel is going to be successful and sustainable in the kind of like medium to long term. Because what it means is we can establish like a streamlined system of knowing, when this video is going out, who's responsible for it, and just a really good understanding of how a video goes from the beginning, just the concept stage, to actually being published on the platform. Plus, it also has the benefit with knowing how this process works, people can sort of jump in and collaborate more easily and kind of suggest ideas or improvements to the existing processes when there is actually a process in place. place. So yeah, over the past like year or 18 months, the team has been like pretty instrumental in helping me develop and maintaining a well-structured operations process. And I think just having this kind of really small, tight-knit team support that I would recommend any creator have once you have this ability to do so has just been really invaluable in helping me stay on track and also holding me accountable. So I think the strong foundation that they've helped me to actually build now means that hopefully we can consistently produce some high quality, helpful content, resonates with that target audience that I talked about, while also staying focused on the goals and also in the niche that we're building. So as the team evolves, of course, the operational process should really evolve too. And about a month or so ago, Marino and I actually just spent some time to completely reevaluate our processes in Notion and just get a better understanding of, we've got the new strategy, we've got the new plan, we know what the audience is, we know what the kind of focus and the theme of creator economy and business of creators we're going to do. Now we can maybe, focus on getting some traction and building up this kind of, channel and these audiences. We actually wanted to build a completely new step-by-step process within Notion that you can maybe also use for your own channel operations, but was incredibly helpful for me. So let's go through it. So step one is idea generation. This is all about brainstorming ideas for the channel, whether that's a long form video or a short, or maybe even a community post that would be really useful for Zach or Sophie, these kind of people that we have in mind for the audience. We basically do this every 2 or 3 months, keeping the niche and goals in mind and maintaining a list of topics or ideas for future reference that we just chuck into a table in Notion and we review at a later stage. And that stage is the idea validation stage. This is the most important stage we have. In this stage, before moving forward, we will validate the actual idea of this video to see whether it's good enough. And we will do that by looking at 3 things: the thumbnail, the angle of the video, like the focus, and also the title. And if these 3 things don't click, they don't make sense, even if one of them doesn't, then we put it back on the shelf until a better approach or better idea is found. But if it's good enough, then we move on to the thumbnail creation. So this is really interesting. This is a new part of our process, and we think this is a really crucial step in the revamped approach, because before we do any kind of scripting or planning with the video, we will actually create an eye-catching and engaging thumbnail that we think best represents the content, with some bold colors, text, images, etc., to grab your attention, which hopefully this video did. So we will do that before we research or script anything, which is the next stage. And to make sure that the content that we provide on the channel is super useful and accurate, we'll conduct quite a lot of research on the topic of every single video that we produce to ensure that the information we share is accurate and the information we share is also valuable. Then we'll write a concise, engaging script, making sure it's tailored to the audience, which is hopefully you, is needs and pains, which then brings us on to filming, which is, I guess, this kind of stage where I'm at right now. And in theory, I'll have a comfortable, well-lit filming environment set up, something I'm always working on. Currently, I'm working remotely, so this is a bit of a different setup for me. But yeah, hopefully we've got a nice setup with some well-lit audio and visuals, and I'll try and be as energetic and interesting as camera I can be as possible. Which then brings on to the stage after this, which is the editing process for us. So we'll carefully go through the video and edit it to maintain the style and the pace and the flow. And my awesome editor, Michael, will also go through and remove any unnecessary parts or dodgy bits and add any kind of graphics, animations, transitions, all these kind of nice things that just makes the experience of watching the video that little bit better. And sometimes it might take us 2, 3, 4 edits to be able to make the final thing, but ultimately the best thing is what we are trying to do is make the best content for you. So yeah, once the video is edited and it's approved, we'll then optimize it for YouTube by adding all the relevant tags, title, and description. And we'll also try to ensure that there is keywords that will also help the content rank a little bit higher in search results. Although I think the importance of this is less so than it was a few years ago. Tags and descriptions don't really matter as much. So I think we want to really focus on having a really strong title and a really strong thumbnail. Next up, we'll schedule the video. So generally, I think if you're picking a time to post a video, it doesn't matter too much because ultimately the best videos will be shown to people whatever time they're on YouTube. But we generally try and go for something of a consistent video upload, because I think a consistent schedule, if you know that your favorite creator publishes on a Sunday lunchtime, for example, is like an important thing to know to come back to the channel for that time. Then one of the other goals for us, the next stage, is around repurposing. So we make an awesome video, we share some valuable content, but only a fraction of people are going to see that content on YouTube. So we want to repurpose that content onto social media or into blog posts, and we're working on kind of making this a little bit better and adapting the format and messaging to suit all of those other different platforms. But having this much more focused, adapted process, like this big learning and big change that we've implemented, means that we can have a clear goal, a clear end result in mind. And also, because we have this clear process and idea of like how long each bit is going to take time, and it's all tracked in Notion, everyone in theory should know what part they own in that process, then it means we can have a little bit more of a regular kind of schedule and know when things are going to be uploaded in time. And we can actually, you know, really focus on making the best kind of content, knowing that the recording and editing and ideation and thumbnail has all been done and delivered on track. So yeah, some very valuable lessons that have definitely helped me build out the North Star, actually build out a little bit more of a focus on creating the best kind of content for you as a viewer as part of this YouTube channel. And I think being able to refine the strategy, identify the niche, and actually build out a really clear, like streamlined operational plan, I think hopefully we're then able to now, moving forward from this video, able to kind of make some more intentional videos focused around helping you as a creator really grow and have a positive impact on the creator economy as a whole. And hopefully me kind of being a little bit more transparent and open on some of the things that we did less well over the last couple of years, even as someone who, you know, does actually work at YouTube, who doesn't have everything figured out for my own content, now we have a little bit more of a plan and a strategy. Hopefully there's some learnings here and some insights that you can apply to your own creative journey too. So I think as long as I have a little bit of a clear vision, a focus on the target audience that I actually want to make content for, and speaking to them on a regular basis and getting an understanding for them from comments or community posts or on Twitter or wherever it is, and having that super clear process so we know that from having that idea to validating it, to then building the thumbnail, to then researching, scripting and editing and uploading it, we know how long that is all going to take, and we know who in the team is going to be helping and actually making sure that that happens. It's definitely been a struggle for me over the last few years of figuring this out, but I think you only really learn and go through these kind of reflections from actually doing it and making the mistakes and uploading all of these different types of formats and content and vlogging and, you know, recording sit down videos. So if you've been struggling with this, 100%, don't worry, you're not alone. I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm only just getting a better idea and figuring this out for myself. But if you did find this video, definitely leave a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or you want to know more, definitely drop me a comment below and subscribe for more videos just like this. I'll see you in the very next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.